Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Retro Pop Planet. So a couple weeks ago, I was watching an old episode of the TV show Pawn Stars. It's the episode where Rick goes out and pays like an absurd amount of money for an Everlasting Gobstopper prop from the 1971 movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's the one device in the movie that is kind of the entrapment for all of the kids, and it's the one thing that saves Charlie when he gives it back to Willy Wonka, and he's able to become the heir apparent to the Chocolate Factory. Now, problematic author aside, this is actually more for the movie itself. I have always loved the movie ever since I watched a re-release of it as a little kid at one of those summer theater camps in the early 1980s. But more than anything, I love the visuals, I love the music, I love the sound design, I love the props. I love prop making, I love prop building. I love watching prop making channels on YouTube. And also where I live outside the DC area, we have so many great museums that have had just a tremendous amount of different cool props from different movies and TV shows come through. I'm talking Wizard of Oz, I'm talking Star Wars, I'm talking Star Trek, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Charlie McCarthy, Howdy Doody, you name it. And now that 3D printing exists, I thought to myself, there has to be an artist out there that has done 3D prints, and boy are there. Now I went to Etsy because I figured that would be the best place to find a seller, and I found a lot of them. Now some of them are good, some are not so great, and I came across what I think was probably one of the best sellers out there. I will leave a link in the description. I immediately ordered one. It was maybe 20 bucks I think for unpainted because I wanted to paint it myself, and I waited maybe a week and a half with delivery included. Now this is actually a really well constructed piece. It's pretty similar to one that you see in the movie. And then I went down the Everlasting Gobstopper rabbit hole.
What do you think will come of that? I don't like the look of it.
I had a hard time trying to find prop examples that showed the entire 3D model, the 3D photograph. The one I really wanted to base my prop on was the one in the very end of the movie that Charlie gives back to Willy Wonka, and here he's putting his hand over top of it. But this is the only frame you can get. You only see this one side of this particular prop. So then I watched the movie and I took a ton of reference photos, and believe it or not, I think there's maybe 3 minutes at the most of screen time for this thing, which is the most important aspect of the entire movie. It's the thing that Slugworth is trying to get them to turn over in order to throw the kids out, because then it shows that they are untrustworthy for getting this chocolate factory or learning all of the secrets. So the first thing I want to do is prime it. I'm using this automotive spray primer. You've seen me use this in a previous video. This stuff is the best for filling in all the weird inconsistencies that happens in a 3D print, especially like the different lines. And then taking the reference photos, I'm really just focusing on one side of the model, and then I figure I can kind of fudge the other side and figure out exactly what the color scheme would be. Now, the one thing that I'm really focusing on here is trying to figure out how detailed I really want to make this. If you actually look at some of the photos from the actual props from the movie that have been on display over the years, the paintwork is kind of slapdash and very quick, and it's not that accurate. Probably because they knew it wasn't going to get a whole lot of screen time, and I don't know, maybe they were putting them together really quickly for the movie. Maybe they had a really limited production time. I'm not even sure what this is made out of. I believe that the original prop was probably made out of some sort of clay. Again, it's really hard to find information, and I don't think you can really screw this prop up because in the books and also in the movie, it makes note that these things actually color change, and I guess the flavor is supposed to change when the color changes. So the color is gonna be all over the place, and I don't think you can really screw this up. So what I normally do when I finish these projects is spray them either with a matte or a gloss. I did notice that in the movie and in the prop from Pawn Stars, the prop looks like it's shiny. So I decided to go with a gloss finish. I think it came out great.
We are the music makers. And we are the dreamers of dreams.
All right, guys, welcome back. Before we get to the final shots, including this really cool case that I bought that makes it look like it would have been something that you would have probably sold at auction for Sotheby's or one of these prop houses, I just want to say that one of the biggest regrets that I had was in 2007, I actually went to Munich. At the time, I didn't realize that a lot of these movies were filmed at this famous movie studio. We did a tour of Allianz Arena, and it also included FC Bayern's practice facility, which was about a mile away from the studio. Since that trip, I realized that you can actually take a studio tour, but next time I'm in Munich, I definitely want to go and find some of these original locations for the shooting, including Wonka's chocolate factory, which is still there, although it's like a series of municipal buildings. Some of these other locations have changed slightly, but for the most part, you can still basically recreate this movie and go around and tour all the different locations. But guys, before we get to the final photos, if you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.